Hello everyone, welcome back to Maths Help. For today's session, we will be going through a past paper instead. Normally we will be just going through a topic, but for today's lesson I wanted to try something new. So we will go through this whole paper. So to get the best result, I would suggest pausing the video at each question, giving it a go, arrive at an answer, then play it to see what I get. So you can work along through this paper with me. So what that means is it would give you a solid 2 hours of revision, solid 1.5 hours of revision. So give it a go and let me know how it goes. So this is Edexcel exam board, November 2018, paper 1. Feel free to suggest any other exam boards you want me to go through. I'm happy to go through AQA, Educast, any of those past papers. Sorry, any of those exam boards if you want. So just let me know in the comment section. So let's get started. So question number 1. Straight away we can see is kind of an indices question. So let's use our indices here. So 3 to the power of 7 times 3 to the power of minus 2. The first mark is for adding the powers. Since they are being multiplied together, that will give you 3 to the power of 5 over 3 to the power of 3. Second mark, dividing them, which would give you 3 to the power of 5 divided by 3 to the power of 3, which gives you 3 squared. So you can either write the answer as 3 squared or 9. Either of them would give you the mark. So let's move on to the next one. Question number 2. We have an equation here and they want you to work out the value of v. So this is a simple substitution. So to get the answer with the least amount of error, I would suggest first of all write down the equation, which is v squared is equal to u squared plus 2as. Then substitute, which is v squared is equal to u squared, which is 12 squared plus 2a. Yes. The reason is for you to get used to the negatives, it's very important that you use the bracket. Otherwise, you can mess things up. Let me just simplify it quickly. Otherwise, it'll take a lot longer. V squared is equal to 36. So if you simplify this, you should get v squared equal to 36. So now here, you have to do the inverse of square, which is square root, which is v equal to 6, right? No, that's not it. So whenever you square it, make sure you always put a plus minus. This is because both 6 times 6 gives you 36, but minus 6 times minus 6 also gives you 36. So when you do a square root of 36, you are not sure if it was initially 6 or minus 6. Hence, put it as plus minus 6. So part B is a rearrangement. So you're rearranging the equation v squared equal to u squared plus 2s to make s the subject. To make a letter the subject, all you have to do is isolate that letter and make it equal to something. So everything else should go to the other side of that equation. So in this case, what I will do is minus u squared on both sides. So v squared minus u squared is equal to 2as divided by 2a by 2a. V squared minus u squared over 2a is equal to s. So it's just rewriting it here. So it's gonna, yeah, 2a. Perfect. Let's move on to the next question. This is a big question which requires a lot of patience. It's a 5-marker. So let's quickly highlight the key terms. A bonus of 2,100 is shared by 10 people who work for a company. 40% of the bonus is shared equally between 3 managers. The rest of the bonus, which means 60%, is shared equally between the 7 salesmen. One of the salesmen says, if the bonus is shared equally between all 10 people, I will get 25% more money. Is the salesman correct? So you can straight away see that you don't really care about what the manager gets. What you care about is what a salesman gets, because it is all about the salesman. So the first step would be to figure out what a salesman gets in the first scenario, where 40% is shared between managers and 60% is shared between 7 salesmen. Then compare it to the second scenario, where everything is shared equally between the 10 people. So let's give this a go. So first of all, if 40% is managers, then 60% is salesmen. So 60% of 2,100. So that would be something like 60 over 100 times 2,100. The reason I'm doing this is because this is a non-calculator paper, so you want to avoid using calculator as much as possible. So that should give you £1,260. Yep. Now we have to divide it by 7 to see what one salesman gets. And that should, you can use long division here, that should give you £180. So this is the first scenario. Now if I use another color pen, the second scenario is when everyone gets shared equally. So that will be £2,100 divided by 10, which is £210. So in the first scenario, the salesman get 180. The second scenario, the salesman get 210. But now we need to compare it. We need to prove that is it 25% or more. We need to see if it's 25% or more. So the easiest way to do that is to do a percentage change. So the new one, 210 minus old one, 180 divided by old, which is 180 times 100. So that is 30 over 180 times 100, which is 100 divided by 6, which is roughly 16.6 ... And 16.6 ... is not equal to 25%. Therefore, the salesman is wrong. Yep, so I used the percentage change equation here. So it's always good to mirror the question's language. So it's always good to do it in percentage if they have told you in percentage in the question, so that you can straight away prove someone wrong or right. So that's pretty much it for this question. Let's move on to the next one. So let's look at here. It would take 120 minutes to fill a swimming pool using water from 5 taps. How many minutes will it take to fill the pool if only 3 of the taps are used? So we have taps, we have minutes. 5 tap takes 120, 3 taps. So how do you get from 5 to 3? That is times by 3 over 5. So you do send to the right? No, that's not what you do. This is an inverse proportion question, because as the number of taps decreases, the time taken to fill the pool increases. So if you think about it, in a realistic sense, if you have 2 taps and you want to fill a bucket, it would take more time if there was 1 tap instead of 2. Right? So think of it as a real life scenario to make sense of these situations much better. So if I'm timesing the taps, I have to divide on the other side. So that would be 120 divided by 3 over 5, which is divided by 3 over 5, which is 120 times 3 over 5. Sorry, forgot that. 5 over 3. That means 40 times 5, which is 200. Perfect. So that is 200 minutes. So that's the answer. Perfect. Now for part B, so one of the assumptions you made is that all the taps flows at the same rate. So if you think of a real case scenario, if you open the tap to its full speed, it's obviously going to fill up the pool faster compared to when you open it at small speed. But in this question, we have not taken into account of the rate of flow of the water anywhere. We just haven't looked into at all. So the assumption we made there was that the speed of the water flow is the same. So you can say something along the line that taps are running at the same speed as the assumption you made. Yeah. So that's it for this question. So let's move on to question number 5. So a plane travels at a speed of 213 miles per hour. Work out an estimate for the number of seconds the plane takes to travel 1 mile. So let's first of all write this as 213 miles per hour, which is 1 hour. So if you think about it, you want 1 mile in seconds, so you don't want hours. So first things first, turn this into seconds. So that's 10 times 60 once, so that turns hours into minutes. Then times 60 again to turn the minutes into hours. So that is 213 miles over 3,600 seconds. So you haven't really done major calculation here, you just converted the units from hours to seconds. So now you want to find the seconds for 1 mile. So you currently have 213 miles, but you only need 1. So how can you go from 230 to 1? Divide by 213. And you do the same thing to the denominator, divide by 213. And you should get a value somewhere along the line of sorry, so you can do long division here. So something along the lines of 16.9 dot dot dot. So long division of something like 3600 divided by 213. So goes 1 2 1 3 and 5 1 7 4 1 and 0. So you can have something like 6. Then that would be something like 1 2 7 8. That is 1470 minus 1278. That is 192. But that's too small, so you put a dot and dot, and that should leave you with .91917. So it goes dot dot dot, but you don't really want that. You don't want to be that specific because this is a non-calculator paper, so it can be to 1 decimal place. So it goes dot dot dot. So somewhere here, remainder of 3. Yeah. So it's about 16.9, but you want it to be a number of seconds, so you can pretty much just round it to 17 seconds. Oops, it got a bit too big. Gonna make it smaller. Since you have rounded the answer, that would give you an overestimate. So you rounded 17, therefore the answer is an overestimate. There is an easier way to do this because this is an estimate, right? So let me quickly go through an easier way because this is more accurate way. So probably give you a very accurate answer. But if you were to round this, what you can do is you can round it to, let's say, 200. So you can, let me provide you a quick example here. So on the side. So let me provide a quick example on the side. So you can round the 213 to 200. So that would be 200 over 3,600 miles per second. And you want to go to 1 per sec. So 1. So you divide it by 200. Divided by 200. 3,600 divided by 200. Cos. So 18. So roughly 18 seconds. That would also give you the full marks for part A, because in the mark scheme they want an answer in the range 16 to 20. because they expect you to estimate the values, because like I said, this is a non-calculator paper, so they don't expect you to spend a lot of time doing long divisions and multiplications and so forth. So you can straight away run the values and kind of estimate from there onwards. So this is a method that you could use. So that's it for that question. Let's move on to this next one. So this is a simultaneous equation. So you have one equation here, equation 2 here, and you want to create a third equation, which would be, so let's see. So I'm choosing to multiply all the bottom number by 5. So that would be 5x minus 15y is equal to 45. So then I'm just going to copy down the first equation, which is 5x plus y is equal to 21. Going to subtract both. That will be minus 16y is equal to 45 minus 21, which is 24, and divided by minus 16 on both sides, which gives you y is equal to 24 divided by minus 16, which is minus 3 over 2. So if you know what y is, you can literally sub that into either of the three, like any of those three equations. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to use x minus 3y just because it's easier. So that is x minus 3 bracket minus 3 over 2 equal to 9. So x plus 9 over 2 is equal to 9. So x is equal to 9 minus 9 over 2. So x is equal to 9 over 2. That's it. So pretty much done with that question. So let's move on to the next one. This question is an interesting one. So let me make it a bit smaller. So the diagram shows a square ABCD with sides of length 20 centimeter. It also shows a semicircle and an arc of a circle. AB is the diameter of the semicircle. AC is an arc of a circle with center B. So let's get started. Show that area of shaded region over area of square. So area of shaded region. So area of shaded region. You pretty much know you need to find area of shaded region and area of square. So when you see this question, do not skip it because it looks hard. At least do something, because you can definitely find the area of this square since you have one of those sides. At least do that. Yeah. So you first find the area of this whole quarter circle, then you find the area of this semicircle and subtract it from there. So quarter circle is 1 over 4 times pi r squared and minus 1 over 2 times pi r squared. Now here's the thing, the r's in both circles are different. The first one has an r of 20 centimeters. That means that is 1 over 4 times pi 20 squared. The second one has a radius of 10, so that is half times pi 10 squared. That means that is 400 divided by 4, which is 100 pi. And this one is 100 pi divided by 2, which is 50 pi. Sorry, minus 50 pi. That gives you 50 pi overall. So that is the area of the shaded region. Now we need to find the area of square. So area of square is equal to 20 times 20, which is 400. Therefore, area of shaded region over area of square is 50 pi over 400. So now you want it as pi over, so you divide it by 50 on both sides. That leaves you with pi over 8. So you're done. You have proven what the question have asked you to do. Show that pi over area of shaded region over area of square is equal to pi over 8. Perfect. So let's move on to the next question. So like I said, if you have any doubts regarding the working out, just feel free to ask me in the comment section. We'll be greatly be happy to help out with any doubts any of you have. So let's move on to question number 8. So this one you pretty much just need to know the value. So write down the exact value of tan 45, which is 1. So make sure you know the values of tan, sine, and cos for 30, 60, 30, 45, 60, 90, 180, 270, and 360 by heart. There are ways to work things out, but I think that's too complicated to learn, so pretty much just memorize the values much quicker in a way. But happy to do another video if you want, just comment below on the methods. But let's see. For part B, they want you to work out length x. So the first step is label the side. So this is the angle you have. So the side adjacent to it is the adjacent, the side opposite to it is the opposite, and the longest side is, of course, is the hypotenuse. Then you write down the acronym and tick off the side you have, which is adjacent, and the side you need, which is hypotenuse, which means the equation you need to use is cos theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And you know that theta is equal to 60, so you put that in, and you know adjacent is equal to 4 and hypotenuse is x. Rearrange the equation. Before you rearrange, use this. Cos 60 is 0.5, so that is 0.5 is equal to 4 over x. Rearrange, and that should give you 0.5x is equal to 4 divided by 0.5 divided by 0.5. X is equal to 4 divided by 0.5, which is 8. So that's it for this question. Let's move on to the next one. This is a very interesting one. The times that 48 trains left a station on Monday were recorded. The cumulative frequency graph gives information about the number of minutes the trains were delayed. Correct to the nearest meter. On the shortest delay was 0 minutes, the longest delay was 42 minutes. On the grid below, draw a box plot for the information about delays on Monday. So the thing you need to know about box plots is that whenever you draw a box plot, there are certain things you need to remember. So the values you need is the highest values, lowest value, you need the upper quartile, lower quartile, and the median. So you require these 5 values to draw a box plot. So first things first, you already know the lowest value and the largest value. So draw that, which is 0 and 42. So I'm just going to draw something like this. So it's a bit messy, but please use a ruler and pencil in your real test. So now we need to work out the median. So to work out the median, you need to go to the total frequency, in this case 48 trains, divided by 2, which is 24. Just go here, and then you go down, go to the graph, and find where it intercepts, go down, and that gives you 10, which means median is 10. So lower quartile, multiply the total frequency by 1 over 4. So median, you do half times 48. Lower quartile, you do 1 over 4 times 48. Upper quartile, you do 3 over 4 times 48. First one gives you 24. Second one gives you 12, 36. So now you go to each of these in the y-axis of the cumulative diagram and draw from there. So in this case, 12 gives you 4, median 10, and 36 goes at 20. Perfect. So the upper quartile is 20, the lower quartile is 4, and the median is 10. So lower quartile 4, median 10, and upper quartile 20. Then make a box for that and connect it to the highest, the lowest and the highest. So that's it pretty much for the box plot. Do excuse the way drawing. Go on to part B. So compare the distribution of the delays on Monday with the distribution of the delays on Tuesday. So whenever they ask you to compare things, the things that you need to look out for is the median and the interquartile range. So for example, you need to look at the median for Monday and Tuesday, and you realize the median for Tuesday is smaller than the median for Monday. So you can say something along the lines that the median delay time on Monday was greater than the median delay time on Tuesday, or the other way around. It doesn't matter. In the sense that you can say it was smaller on Tuesday than Monday. So let me write that down. So the median delay time on Monday was greater than the median delay time on Tuesday. To be as specific as you can. For the second mark, you need to look at a comparison for the measure of spread. For example, the interquartile range. So you can say something along the lines that the interquartile range of delay time on Monday was greater than interquartile range on Tuesday. On Tuesday. So that's pretty much it for the 2 marks. Now for part C, Mary says the longest delay on Tuesday was 33 minutes. This means that there must be some delays of between 25 and 30. Is Mary right? You must give a reason for your answer. Sorry. So the answer is no. Because there might not be any delays between 25 minutes and 30 minutes. In the upper 25%. So the upper 25%. So make it a bit smaller. So 10A, you need to simplify this. So this is the algebraic simplification. So algebraic fraction simplification. So do something like x minus 1 over 5 times x minus 1 times x minus 1, because these are quadratic brackets. Cross these out, left with 1 over 5 bracket x minus 1. That should give you 1 over 5x minus 5. For the second one, this is a very tricky factorization. So first things first, I take out the 2's. So that should give me 25 minus y squared. So this is quite a weird one. So this is the one where you do the plus minus and the middle number cancels out. So that'll be 2 bracket 5 minus y and 5 plus y. So that is the answer. Perfect. Let's move on to the next one. So Jack and Sadia work for a company that sells boxes of breakfast. So boxes of breakfast cereal. The company wants to have a special offer. Here is Jack's idea for the special offer. This Sadia's idea. So what you could do in this scenario is you can literally assign numbers. So what I mean by that is, here is Jack's idea for special offer. Jack puts 25% more cereal into each box and do not change the price. Here is Sadia's idea. Sadia reduces the price and do not change the amount of cereal in each box. So if I say the amount of cereal in each box is X, then Jack is selling 1.25 at for let's call it £1 for now. It doesn't matter what the money is £1. But now Sadia reduces the price but do not change the amount of cereal. So if I said the amount of cereal initially is equal to X. So I named the initial amount of cereal X. Therefore, if Jack increases by 25%, it becomes 1.25 X, whereas Sadia is just X. So to know how much the price reduced by, I just need to find how I can go from 1.25 to 1. So you divide it by 1.25 here and do the same to the right. So that should give you something like 504, which is which is 0.8. Sorry. So because this is a non-calculated paper, I would suggest keep things in fractions because fractions are much easier to work with in a non-calculator. But it doesn't matter if you work with decimals as well, as long as you can do the calculations with it. We know that if the scenario is followed, a £1 price would reduce to 0.8. The reason I said it doesn't matter what you put in the price is because they just want the percentage change. They don't really care the exact amount, they just want a percentage change. Now you can apply the percentage change equation here, which is 0.2 divided by 1 times 100. The reason I use £1 makes more sense now, right? Because the ones are easy number to get rid of. So that would mean it is 20. So you will realize it gives you minus, right? Minus 20%. Minus is only telling you that it's a reduction. That's all minus does. So that means the percentage decrease is 20%. Yep. So that's it for that question. Let's move on to the next one. So for this question, so ABC are points on the circumference of a circle. Center ODAE is a tangent to the circle at A. Angle BAE is equal to 56%. Angle CBO is equal to 35. Oh, sorry, I read it as percentage, but degrees. Angle CBO is equal to 35 degrees. Work out the size of angle CAO. So they want angle CAO, which is this angle. You must show you're working out. The first things first, you need to find angle OAB. So you know straight away that this is 90 degree, right? Because of the rule that when a radius and a tangent meet, it creates a 90 degree, which means you can work out this angle. So 90 minus 56 is equal to 36. So normally I would give a reasoning, but work out the size of angle, you must show all you're working out. It doesn't really ask for reasoning. So you don't really need to say I'm using the rule radius. When radius meets tangent, it gives you 90 degrees. You can just show the working out. So that means this is 36 degrees. So what I'm going to use is the alternate segment theorem, which is if this is 56, then this is also 56 degrees. So if this is 56, then this angle is 56 times 2, which is 112. So now what I'm going to do is not the easiest. I mean, not the most straightforward, if I would say, because I'm going to cut this into two different shapes. Both of these are radiuses, therefore this is same as this. That means if this is 35, this is also 35. And if this is 35, then this must be 56 minus 35, which is 21 degrees. And if that is 21 degrees, then this is 21 degrees. Therefore, the angle CAO is 21 degrees. Hope that makes sense, and let's move on to the next question. So here you're trying to figure out the single transformation. So what I would suggest here is you're trying to figure out the transformation from triangle A to triangle B. So A to B. So whenever there's an enlargement, there are two things you need to figure out. You need to figure out the factor and the center of enlargement. Yeah, so what you do to first find the center of enlargement is connect the 3 points. So, oops. Yeah, so connect the respective points on both shapes. So these ones, these, and these, and where all intercept is your point of enlargement. In this case, the point of enlargement is 2, 2, and now you need to figure out the factor. So if the shape turns upside down, you definitely know it's a negative. And then you will look at the size. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it turns into 2. So what can you divide 6 by to give you 2? So 6 divided by 3 gives you 2. Therefore, the factor you're dividing it by is 3. But here's the thing: you can't divide in enlargement. You multiply by the factor. But what you can do is you can multiply by 1 over 3, which is same as dividing by 3. So now here's the thing. Remember, I told you when you're in reverse position, that means it's a negative, right? So the scale factor is negative 1 over 3. So that's it. Hope that was helpful. And if you need, work out the value of 16 over 81 to the power of 3 or 4. So this is an indices question. First of all, you need to know that becomes a root of 4. So make a bit smaller. So root of 4, that is 16 over 81, then power of 3. So that becomes 4 root 16 over 4 root 81 to the power of 3. 4 root 16 is 2, and 4 root 81 is 3, I believe. Yep, that is right, 3 to the power of 2, which is equal to 4 over 9. Yep, that's it. Now for the second part B, you have 3 of this, and you need to work out the values of A, B, C. Straight away, you know that you need to turn these into the power of 3. So for first one, 3A is 1 over 9, which is 1 over 3 squared, which is 3 to the power of minus 2. So I would suggest having a look through your indices law if you're struggling with this. So we are working in reverse here. See, that is 9 times root 3, which is 3 squared times 3 to the power of half, which is 3 to the power of 2.5. And perfect. Let's move on to the next one. 3 to the power of c is equal to 1 over root 3 is 1 over 3 to the power of half. That becomes 3 to the power of minus half. So overall, to do a plus b plus c, you're doing a plus b plus c, which is minus 2 plus 2.5 minus a half, which should give you 0. So that's it. Let's move on to the next one. So question number 15. 3 solid shapes A, B, C are similar. The surface area of A is 4. The surface area of B is 25. The ratio of the volume of shape B to the volume of shape C is 27 to 64. Work out the ratio of height of the shape A to the height of shape C. Give your answer in a simplest form. This is very interesting. So 3 solid shapes A, B, and C are similar. Surface area of A. So surface surface area of A to B is 4 to 25. 4 to 25, And then to find here, you need to find the scale factor. So because it is surface area, to find the scale factor of length, what you have to do is you have to divide it. Sorry, you have to square root it. So that would be 2 to 5. Now for volume, B to C, it is 25 to 64. So volume, you will have to cube root it. So cube root, that is 3 to 4. Now you need to find a common multiple of 3 and 5, which is 15. So you multiply times 3, so times 3 times 5, so times 5, that becomes 6 to 15, 15 to 20. So the ratio for A to C in terms of height is 6 to 20, which in simplified is 3 to 10. So this might look a bit confusing. So what you are trying to do is you are trying to use the scale factor to figure out the length factors for A and B. Then you use the volume to find the length factors for B and C. Then you made it into a single ratio where you can compare them. So to do that, you made the ratio for B the same in both cases. So just as a reminder, the scale factors for length is, so if you think about in terms of the units, so length is meters, area is in meters squared, so and volume is in meter cubed. To go to the length factor, you need to square root the area and cube root the volume. Yeah, so keep that in mind when you're doing future questions. Now for question number 16, prove algebraically that 0.256 can be written as 127 over 495. So first things first, let x equal to 0.256. So if x is this, then 1000 x is equal to 256.56 recurring. So let's do this. 1000 x is equal to 256.56 recurring, and 10x is equal to 2.56 recurring. So that is 2.56 recurring. Then you subtract them, you get 990x is equal to 254. The recurrings cancel out, so x is equal to 254 over 990, which should simplify to give you 127 over 495. Yep, that's it. So you're proving that. So let's move on to the next question. Question number 17. So let's move on to question number 17. Here is a sketch of a curve. The equation of the curve is y equal to s squared plus ax plus b, where a and b are integers. Points 0, 5 and 50 lie on the curve. Find the coordinates of the turning point of the curve. So 0, 5 is 0 minus 5, 0 minus 5. Then we have 50, which is here. So let's see how many marks this question is. This is a 4 marker, which means a bit of work. So first things first, you know the y-intercept is minus 5, therefore b is minus 5, which means you can rewrite the formula as y is equal to x squared plus ax minus 5. So you know that one of the x values is 5. So what you can do is you can substitute this point in to this equation. So that would be 0 is equal to 5 squared plus a times 5 minus 5. So that is 0 is equal to 25 plus 5a minus 5, which is 0 is equal to 20 plus 5a, which means minus 20 is equal to 5a minus 4 is equal to a. So a is equal to minus 4 and b is equal to minus 5. So let's rewrite the equation as y is equal to x squared minus 4 x minus 5. So to find the turning point, the easiest way is to complete the square. So you need to complete the square of this, find the coefficient, the number next to x, that is minus 4, then divide it by 2, that gives you minus 2, rewrite it as x minus 2 whole squared, expand that would be x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then you see how you can go from plus 4 to minus 5, which is by subtracting 9. So rewrite the quadratic as x minus 2 whole squared minus 9. So that is the whole equation rewritten by completing the square. Therefore, the turning point would be 2, because you would be you would be changing the signs inside the x bracket but keeping the y outside the bracket the same. So the turning point would be 2 minus 9. Yeah, always remember to change the sign for this one but keep this one the same. Let's move on to the next question. The graph of y equal to f of x is shown on the grid below. On the grid above, sketch the graph of y equal to f of x minus 2. So remember, everything that happens inside the bracket with x, it means the opposite thing. So if they say x minus 2, it means x to the right by 2. So that means the points move to the right. So that would be so 0, 4, 0, 3 minus 1. So you just draw that. So this also move to the right by 2, right by 2. So graph sketch. Yep, that's it. Remember, everything inside the x bracket is opposite. Minus 2 means right to the plus 2 to the x values. Plus 2 means minus 2 to the x values. Dividing means multiplication, multiply means divide. Yep, think of the inverse. Now for part B, on the grid graph A has been reflected to give graph B. The equation of graph A is y equal to g of x. Write down the equation for graph B. So reflection, you pretty much just write it down by adding a minus. But here's the thing, you need to find what the line of reflection is. So if you look at it carefully, you know pretty much it wasn't reflected in the x-axis. It was reflected in the y-axis. So graph A to B. So if it was reflected in the y-axis, but if you look at the points, let's say an example, this point, the x value is the one that changes. The y value is the same because the y value of minus 3 is exactly the same as here, which means the minus goes into the bracket. So y is equal to g of minus x, not the minus outside, because the y value stays the same but the x values change, which means the minus is affecting the x. Hope that helped. Let's move on to the next one. So question number 19, for all values of x, show that g of f of x is equal to 2x bracket x plus 2. So you first need to realize what this is. It literally means put the function of x into the function of g. So function of f, that is this, put this into the x value of g. That's what it means. So let's try that. G of f of x is equal to 2 bracket x plus 1 whole squared minus 1. So that is 2 bracket x squared plus 2x. 2x plus 1 minus 1. That is 2 bracket x squared plus 2x. That expanded is 2x squared plus 2x. But we want to show that it's equal to this, so factorize out 2x. That will give you x plus 2. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do this. Multiply by 4 here. 2 times 2x. Yeah. So that means x plus 2. We're done. Part B, find G inverse 7. So to find inverse function, you have to do something different. I mean unique. So g of x is equal to 2 bracket x minus 1. So 2 bracket x minus 1. So the first thing we'll do is turn g of x into y. So make this into y is equal to 2x minus 2. Sorry. Now rearrange this equation to make x the subject. So that would be this. Right? So rearrange to make x the subject. And what you should do next is swap the x and y, so that'll be y is equal to x plus 2 over 2, and then just put back the g inverse. So g inverse of x is equal to x plus 2 over 2. But you know that g inverse of 7 is what they want you to work out, so you literally substitute 7 in, divided by 2, that is 9 over 2 equal to 4.5. Yep, let's move on to the next question. Now let's give this question a go. So what I will do is first write down the question. This is a rationalizing denominator question with simplification of z as well. So just gonna write that down here. If I were you, the first thing I will do is simplify root 18, which is 3 root 2 plus root 2 whole squared over root 8 minus 2. You will quickly realize that 3 root 2 plus root 2 is 4 root 2. So that is 4 root 2 whole squared over simplifies root 8 as well, which is 2 root 2 minus 2. So this gets simplified into 16 times 2, which is 32. That is 16 times 2, 32 over 2 root 2 minus 2. So you can simplify this by factorizing out 2 in the denominator and dividing by 2 on the numerator and denominator. That will give you 16 over root 2 minus 1. Now to rationalize the denominator, you multiply by root 2 plus 1 and root 2 plus 1 on both numerator and denominator. For numerator, you will get 16 times root 2 plus 1. For the denominator, you can double check that by doing root 2 plus 1 times root 2 minus 1, which gives you 2 plus root 2 minus root 2 minus 1 cancels this. 2 minus 1, 1. So the answer is 16 bracket root 2 plus 1, which means A is equal to 16 and B is equal to 1. So that's pretty much it with question number 20. Let's move on to the next one. So let's give question number 21 a go. So OAB is a triangle, OPM and APN are straight lines. M is the midpoint of AB. OA is equal to A, OB is equal to B, OP to PM is 3 to 2. Work out the ratio ON to NB. So they want the ratio of ON to NB. So let's get started. The first step is to figure out what AB is. So AB is equal to AO plus OB, which is minus A plus B. So I'm just going to write it as B minus A. Next step is to figure out what AM is. That would be half times B minus A and that is also what MB is, because if you look at here, we have literally cut that in half because M is midpoint of AB, so they are equal to each other. Then we are trying to figure out what OM is. So OM is equal to OA plus AM, which is equal to A plus half B minus A, which simplifies. If you simplify out, you should get half A plus B. So far what have we found? So we have found what this is, and we have also just found what OM is. So our next aim is to figure out what OP is. But how can we figure that out? So we want to figure out what O to P and P to M is. So we will use the ratio to do that. So OP to PM is in the ratio 3:2, which means O to P is 3/5 of OM, and P to M is 2/5 of OM. So OP is equal to 3/5 OM, which would be 3/5 times half A plus B, which simplifies to 3/10. So 3/10 A plus B. Let's do similar calculation for PM, which would be 2/5 OM, which is 2/5 times half A plus B, which should give you 2/10 A plus B. So we have just worked out OP to PM. Now you need to work out what AP is. So AP is equal to AO plus OP, which is minus A plus 3/10 A plus B. So we just figured out OP here, right? So that simplifies to give you minus 7/10A plus 3/10B. So now here is the fact that you're going to use. So APN is a straight line. So the vector AP and AN are parallel and multiples of one another. So APN is straight line. Therefore, AP and AN are parallel and multiples of one another. So therefore, AN can be written as minus A plus KB. N can be written as minus A plus KB because if you look at here, let's use a different color to highlight it. If you look at the journey A to N, it can be shown as AO plus ON, and AO is minus A, and we don't know what ON is because ON, K represents the constant ON of B. So we know B is vector B, so K is a factor of B, therefore KB. And we can write the factor AN using another fact, which is AN can also be written as C times AP because so this is why we're using this fact to write this equation. Because AP and AN are parallel, they have a multiple which is C. So that would be AN is equal to C times minus 7/10A plus 3/10B. Now we have two equations. So we have two equations for an now, and what we can do is equate them to each other. So that would be something along the lines of minus a plus kb is equal to c times minus 7 over 10a, which is minus 7 over 10 ac, plus 3 over 10 bc. So what we know is that the a vectors should equal to the a vectors. So minus a is equal to minus 7 over 10 ac divided by a on both sides. That is minus 1 is equal to minus 7 over 10 c, which means c is equal to 10 over 7. Therefore, as a final working up, therefore an is equal to 10 over 7 times minus 7 over 10 a plus 3 over 10 b, which is equal to minus a plus 30 over 7 db, which is minus a plus 3 over 7b, which means ON is equal to 3 over 7b and NB is equal to 4 over 7b. So ON to NB is 3 over 7 to 4 over 7b, which is 3 to 4. Yep, that's it. As the final question on the paper, let's give it a go. So there are only green pens and blue pens in both. There are 3 more blue pens than green pens. There are 3 more blue pens than green pens in the boards. There are more than 12 pens in the boards. Simon is going to take at random 2 pens from the boards. The probability that Simon will take 2 pens of the same color is this. Work out the number of green pens in the boards. First of all, we need to define our terms. So there are 3 more blue pens than green pens. So if green pens is equal to X, then blue pens is equal to X plus 3. There are 3 more blue pens than green pens. So that means total number of pens is x plus 3, which is 2x plus 3. Yep. So now let's make this. So if first time around, if I choose one in random, the probability of getting green to green is x over 2x plus 3. Blue is x plus 3 over 2x plus 3. Then the second time around, I'm choosing this. But make sure to remember that the denominator reduces by 1. So that means it becomes 2x plus 2 over green, blue, green, blue. Do we really care about other ones? When the colors are different, we don't. So we don't really need to work these out. We just need to work out when the colors are the same. Green, green, blue, blue. So for green, green, the number reduces by 1. So that is x minus 1 over 2x plus 2. For blue, blue, it reduces by 1. So that is x plus 2 over 2x plus 2. So what that means is x over 2x plus 2 times x minus 1 over 2x plus 3, sorry for the first one, 2x plus 2 plus x over x plus 3 over 2x plus 3 times x plus 2 over 2x plus 2 is equal to 27 over 55. It is a bit confusing, but yes, it is a lot of algebra to write down. To simplify this, we can do x times x minus 1 plus x plus 3 times x plus 2 over 2x plus 3 times sorry, for some reason it randomly got bigger. So 2x plus 3 bracket 2x plus 2 is equal to 27 or 55. The reason is because they have the same denominator. Yep, they have the same denominator, so we can do this. Now let's simplify the numerator, which is x squared minus x plus x squared plus 5x plus 6 over, let's keep the bracket and expand it for now, is equal to 25 over 55. That means 2x squared 2x squared plus 4x plus 6 over the bracket 2x plus 3 2x plus 2 is equal to 27 over 55. Post multiplication here, so that means 55 bracket 2x squared plus 4x plus 6 is equal to 27 bracket 2x plus 3 bracket 2x plus 2. And let's carry on and solve this. So this would be 110x squared plus 220x plus 55 times 6, which is 330, is equal to 27 bracket 4x squared 4x squared plus 4x squared plus 4x plus 4x squared plus 4x plus 6x plus 6. So let's write that 2 squared plus 220x plus 330 is equal to 27 bracket 4x squared plus 10x plus 6. So that means 110x squared minus 220 x plus 330 is equal to 27 times 4, which is 108x squared plus 270x plus 27 times 6, which is 162. So rearrange everything to one side, which is 2x squared minus 270 minus 220 plus 220 minus minus 270, which is equal to minus 50 x, then 330 minus 162, which is plus 168 is equal to 0. You can simplify, which is divided by 2 on both sides. That will give you x squared minus 25x plus 84 is equal to 0. So we need two numbers that multiply together to 84 but add together to give you minus 25. So the numbers are 21 and 4, not just any 21 and 4 is minus 21 and minus 4. So you can factorize it as x minus 25 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. So are we done with the question? Not really. So we need to figure out x is equal to 25 or x equal to 4. Now, how do we know that x equal to 25 or x equal to 4? So to do that, we need to go all the way up and see what x represents. X represents the number of green. So we know that there are more than 12 pens in the box. So if x is 4, that would mean 2 times 4 plus 3, which is 8 plus 3, which would give you 11. It wouldn't be 12. So definitely x must be 25. So the number of green pens is 25 green pens. So this question can be greatly reduced in terms of difficulty if you simplify early on. So I didn't do it because I didn't want to confuse everyone, but you could easily divide by 2 in both sides in some areas to make the numbers smaller. But of course, all of this requires a lot of patience. It's a 6 marker. It requires a lot of patience to make sure there's no mistakes. So maybe give this a couple of times to go to make sure you fully understand it. Yep, so that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. So if you want any more of videos like this, do let me know. I'll be happy to upload more of those. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much and see you next time. So I'm just gonna write a small thank you here just to say goodbye. Thank you. Perfect.